welcome back. Well, we have Annie McCary and Shireen Self here on behalf of the African American Heritage Club. Well, welcome. Nice to see you, and nice to have you back on behalf of a different club this time.
Yes, thank you.
Which is kind of, I think, what all clubs strive to do, is have different types of diversity.
Yes.
But before we get into what we're actually talking about, which is Black History Month today, and for the whole month of February, tell me a little bit about the club and what it's all about.
Well, the African American Heritage Club was founded maybe 12, 13 years ago by Dr. Fran Williams. When she moved into the community, she was really excited about the community, and she wanted to put together a group of people that looked like her and also shared her values. So she formed the African American Heritage Club of Laguna Woods.
Okay, and what do you guys mostly focus on a monthly basis? I mean, of course, February is a unique circumstance, but on a regular basis?
On a regular basis, we celebrate our heritage. Like we celebrate women in history. We celebrate women contributions. Last month we celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King.
Okay.
And Sharon and I put forth an educational program where we showed a short clip of Dr. King, and then we put together a trivial question activity, and then we had a discussion about that.
Okay.
So those are the kinds of things that we do to celebrate our heritage and for the club.
And I think that's great because you know, you're part of a club that maybe you didn't think you would be part of a club at some point, but all of a sudden here you are, part of an African American Heritage Club. Mm-hmm. Yet your heritage isn't African American. So tell me how you became involved.
Well, I'm a Baha'i. The Baha'is believe that all people of the world are members of the same human family.
Okay.
And my education is cultural diversity, and that all people of the world are the same human family. So I've taught that in schools, universities, colleges, 44 different countries. So when I heard about this, as soon as I moved to Laguna Woods, I immediately wanted to be a part of it.
Well, that's great, because I think, as we all discover, is it doesn't really matter where you're from, what nationality you are, what type of race or religion, whatever it is. Like you said, we're all human beings, and you can learn a lot from all the different types of heritages, right? I mean, Martin Luther King is a great example. You know, he was for rights, but he was for rights for all people, right? And many of the inventors that you're going to tell us a little bit about, it's for everybody. It's not just for one particular group. Yeah. So let's jump into Black History Month and what it means to you guys. Well, to all people.
Absolutely. So, Black History Month it's important because it celebrates the accomplishments of Black Americans and their contribution to all of America, and like you said earlier, not just one particular race of people. So we celebrate because a lot of the inventions and the contributions have been left out of the history books. So a lot of people haven't been taught about the contributions of Africans or Black Americans to the country. So we celebrate Black History Month to highlight some of those contributions.
Okay. Well, perfect. Well, let's talk about some of those contributions. For instance, you have listed 8 Black inventors that made our lives a little easier. Who knew? Who knew?
I mean, I don't even iron.
Well, now, Annie, some people do still iron.
I was going through this entire list the list just kept going on and on and on. So I just picked out a couple of them. Improved the ironing board. It was invented by a woman, Sarah Boone, in 1892.
Oh, my heavens, it goes that far back.
Yes, absolutely. Home security system, co-invented by another woman, Mary Van Britten Brown, in 1966.
Wow.
Traffic signals, invented by Garrett Morgan in 1923. I mean, where would we be without traffic signals?
Right.
A refrigerated truck. Who even thinks about refrigerated trucks? And I mean, people use them, but it was invented by Frederick McKinley Jones in 1940. Wow. Automatic elevator doors, invented by Alexander Miles back in 1887.
Right. You know, and you never hear about this stuff, like you said. You just don't. And we forget about it because everything is so accessible to us, and we're like, oh yeah, refrigerated trucks. Well, they've been around forever. You know, we just don't know about who invents them. The last one I want to talk about is the color IBM PC monitor and gigahertz chip.
Wow.
So that is amazing that it was 1980 and 1999. It was co-invented by?
Yes, absolutely. Mary Dean.
Mary Dean.
Mary Dean.
And you know, the one movie that, of course, comes to mind for me is Hidden Figures, which is a great movie if you haven't seen it. It's all about three women who are African American, and they had a huge impact on the NASA program.
Absolutely.
And it really is an amazing film. Let's talk about, well, real quick, let's make sure we go through a couple little things. Maybe pick out one or two of some of the legislature that really is important today.
Exactly, yeah, and I just listed a few of those. The first Supreme Court Justice, Thurgood Marshall, he was the first African American ever appointed to the Supreme Court. Of course, the first black president in 2008, Barack Obama.
Right.
The first vice president of recent times, Kamala Harris. And recently, just very recently, the first black Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson, was appointed by President Joe Biden.
Right, so some good strides. Now, we're going to talk about some of the movies, and I don't know if you have seen them, but I like the fact that we're devoting the month of February to Black History Month with many of our movies, and so you want to just point out two of them. So The Butler, we're showing on Monday.
Yes, The Butler. The Butler is, that was a difficult one for me to watch. And it was difficult for me because I grew up in the South. I grew up picking cotton. So when I first started watching it, I just went back to that time. So a lot of that movie touched me very personally.
Okay.
And so, but what the movie is about a butler a man who served in the White House for 40-some years under each one of the presidents. And as he served, and I don't want to give too much of it away because it's really an excellent movie. He served, and he was able to hear firsthand the views of each one of the presidents and how they felt about the country, what their views were on integration and segregation. And he kept his poise throughout the whole time.
Right.
So it's about that, but it also has some family values in it. It's got a lot of culture in it, a lot of history.
Okay.
And it's very well played out. There's some interesting actors and actresses.
Okay.
Oprah Winfrey.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's going to have to be. Have you seen it or no?
Long time ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not
you can
recently.
refresh your memory on Monday.
Yes, yes, definitely.
And then Wakanda Forever is a popular one.
Oh my gosh, that is such a feel-good movie. It really, really is. I just enjoyed that so much. It sort of picks up where the first one left off, the Black Panther, which of course, you know, Chadwick Boseman played, and he passed away a couple of years ago.
Right.
So, so this movie picks up with Black Panther, and it is just so exciting to see. It's all black people, all African people in the country of Africa, all working together, all inventing stuff.
Right.
It's got action, it's got adventure, it's got compassion, it's got love. It's a really, really good, feel-good movie, totally opposite of The Butler.
Well, yes, absolutely. And then one last thing I want to mention, because we're out of time, is you had a proclamation. Just tell me quickly about that proclamation.
Yes, a couple of days ago, the Orange County Board of Supervisors issued a proclamation proclaiming February as Black History Month. And so I was on hand to receive that proclamation.
Fantastic. And I know we have a photo of that. I wanted to make sure we shared. It has all of the council
all
on,
of the council.
as well as the supervisor, Katrina Foley.
Katrina Foley, and several other African American council people that have served on councils.
Perfect. Yes, real quick.
So the most important is unity in diversity.
Right.
Be diverse, but be united.
Exactly. Well, we're going to end with that. I appreciate both of you coming on today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.